This Integra is truly one of, if not the best builds I've ever owned. It plays hard to get sometimes, but it makes things twice as sweet when it performs.
That's what I'm saying! My God, dude!
Our most recent round of modifications included a crazy new turbo kit, courtesy of Overkill Performance, and a Gem-free Precision 6870 turbo, along with some other performance mods. We then took it to ES Motor UK to hit the dyno, and with Romain from RACECAL logging in remotely, we finally managed to crack that magical 1,000 wheel horsepower figure, and the car made a crazy 1,031 at the wheels. So around 1,200 brake horsepower, also resetting the UK record for the most powerful K20 engine. It was then time to hit the track, unprepped to dial her in, and she was moving absolutely savage. But with big power and old cars, things didn't go smoothly. Initially, things looked fairly promising, recording a 9.35 second quarter mile, a 100 to 200 time of 3.5 seconds, and trapping over 160 mile an hour in the quarter. We were off to a decent start. Then the car started fighting harder than it ever had for grip down low. And then...
Oh, we've hit a trip.
Now, through the data, we could see that we had two big issues. Way too much wheel spin, but worst of all, an over-pressurized coolant system, meaning she'd lifted the head. And that's a problem, and a big one at that. For the best in universal premium ester-containing engine oils and fuel additives for both petrol and diesel engines, check the links down below in the description. Officially gassed, powered by MANNOL.
Josh.
Hello.
Welcome back to the channel, brother.
Thank you.
We're back with a bit of an update for the people.
Yep.
More than just a damage report.
Yes.
You know, there is a damage report to be spoken about, but also future plans going forward and some cool other stuff. Set the scene. We've been out running, you know, the car's turned into a front wheel drive car pretty much, and then unfortunately we've lifted the head. Now we've got a part in front of us that we've now found that was the cause of the problem. We weren't going crazy, there was an issue, and it was our viscous coupler, which unfortunately was a new unit, as new as it get. But do you want to talk us through the damage you found and what you think's happened?
Yeah, can do. So going from that last video, I just remember sticking my head underneath and seeing fluids dripping from under the percent of a car, and I went, oh, that's viscous.
Yep.
And here it is in an exploded diagram. Unfortunately, what happened is it basically came apart, and what I'm making this light, there's this top piece which should sit inside here with all your plates. This circle up here would sit in this groove and hold this plate inside it itself. Normally, not under pressure, but
so essentially that kind of vibe, like that.
With the way
and then the plates inside and everything.
With the way the viscous works, you know, basically it's kind of not trying to split itself, but it will work itself apart like this. Internally, that's what gives you drive coming out the other side towards the rear wheels. Not too sure what happened here. Basically, this circlip was half pushed out of its groove, and if you look, you can see there's damage done along here, along the top of the groove. It might not pick it up, might not see it, but there's damage there. And it's one of them, it's like, has the damage occurred because of the circlip, or has the circlip come out because there's damage there already? I'm not too sure, you know, it was giving us a whole unit. So that's what's happened, that's come out, it's lost its fluid, and it's gone, okay, I can't transfer any torque basically, or you know, any power or whatever from the front to the rear, so it then become throughout the day front wheel drive, because it was just getting worse and worse and worse.
people might have seen is, you know, the car, we got a pretty good run at first with some issues up top that were kind of, after that, kind of rectified. But then down bottom, we started getting issues, right? Which is mad because, you know, on that first run with a 0.5 second throttle closure, whatever, we still ran a 9.3 unprepped. But then we started losing our acceleration. And that's what a lot of people heard. A lot of popping, a lot of banging, a lot of not nice sounds, basically. And what that was is our traction control doing what it's meant to do, but working like triple time.
It was working overtime. The traction control is a great strategy. It has its place, I will say that. It has its place in when you do and don't use it. In that situation, you know, it was trying to do a job, but the problem is that the job was never being fixed, if you want to look at it like that. In this particular incident, because we've lost this, the rears were not keeping up with the front. And the front is spinning and it's going, okay, I need to attack it, I need to attack it, I need to attack it, and I need to attack it. And that's what's happening, and that's what you can hear. Trouble is with traction control, it can be quite harsh on the engine.
That's right. So the popping and banging is basically ignition cutting, doing this, pulling time, and doing loads of trickery. But essentially, that can cause cylinder pressures to do all sorts of madness.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a forced misfire. With a cylinder pressure, we're already seeing, you know, if you can imagine it, like what's going on inside the engine is kind of a bit erratic. Do you know what I mean? You know, and it's not great. Especially in that situation, because we don't normally have that much traction control interference anyway. So it probably did not help our engine.
So essentially, we lifted the head. Now we don't think it is catastrophic because the Cyvex is very clever. Like the traction control, it's got safeties in place and things like that. However, it's lifted the head, which means realistically, what you want to do is you want to check out what's going on. However, we did realise the Rami racing block that we got on the car, which is O-rings, right? It's copper O-rings, right? Essentially, we bought that maybe about 2 years ago, believe it or not, and I think we only implemented it last season. This is the first season that we've actually went out and tried it. Now, when we got that, we never even, I always keep trying to set the bar higher and higher and higher. We never thought we were going to be running 1200 brake horsepower. And really, as a 1200 brake horsepower kind of complete solution, maybe the copper O-ring was never the best to go with, but we kind of we had it, so we went with it. And we've seen that perhaps, you know, given an issue like this, the head can lift quite easily. And maybe we're even on a limit running, you know, what are we running, like 50 PSI? Craig, 3.5 bar
50,
up to.
50%. So.
Yeah, so we're right up there with boost, right? So we're on the limit of lifting this head. So essentially, you know, moving forward, we need a new solution, which unfortunately, but fortunately, I guess, you know, to push on means there's going to be a strip down again, but there's going to be a new solution head gasket wise, which, do you know what? I'm not going to go too much in right now. I'll let you guys speculate, but I've been speaking to people who know what they're talking about when it comes to running big boost through small little 4-cylinder engines. And we think we know where we're going with that. So there's going to be a solution there. We haven't yet stripped down a car. Car still runs and drives absolutely perfectly, to tell the truth, you know.
If we can go outside, we can start it up. You know, it's not blown up, it's not broken. It's, you know, it's just needs a bit of work.
Do you know what? I reckon we could turn it down to 30 PSI and still go and smoke a lot of people on the setup. That's how mad it is right now. What we'll actually do is we get out and we talk about the car, because there's a lot of changes coming to this car, believe it or not. Yes, again, for the next coming season. And the car will be off-road for a little while, but I think you'll agree with what we're about to do to the car, it'll be worth the wait. But we've also got some other cool stuff to show you, because it's not only about power, to get you down the track fast, you know, weight saving, you know, is a big thing. And we've got some mods that I've actually had here for a while, just haven't implemented yet, that I think you guys are like, because it looks cool, but also are functional. And I think what we'll also do is weigh them, just to show how light they are. Although I don't actually have the actual number of what the stock ones weigh. No. So you have to use your imagination, but they're going to be light. So with a click of the fingers, we'll be in another room with our new bit. So 3, 2, 1. All right. We have some parts to show you guys. We have some weight saving in the form of carbon fiber. Yes, we have went carbon fiber, but not only carbon fiber doors, carbon fiber wing mirrors, and carbon fiber boot lid for some serious weight saving. Now, these are so light, it don't even make sense. Me and Josh have literally just been lifting them up. And compared to what a steel door, or doors are made of steel, right? Yeah, generally steel. There's gonna be such a weight saving. Now, granted, the window glass isn't in there, and the motor and things like that.
I mean, but you get a point.
But we'll get the point. So essentially what we're gonna show you is these beautiful carbon doors, which I gotta let you know, these, you can't buy these off the shelf. These are actually custom made. I didn't buy them brand new. A massive shout out to a dude in Cyprus who I bought these off. He had a DC5, a very, very fast one. So a massive shout out to him. But he kind of broke his, or like deconstructed his DC5, and these went up for sale. They weren't cheap. But they're very, very good quality and they're real full carbon fiber. What we thought we'd do is weigh them just to show people at home how much they weigh, to show how much they weigh, I guess, because we ain't got nothing to weigh them against. So, Josh, you're going to be our lovely assistant. We're all going to find out exactly how much you weigh. Yep. Do you want to quickly hop on that and just show us how much you weigh? And this is going to be very rough, let's say, because this isn't scientific.
I've also put a lot of weight on recently.
Stop it. All right, so Josh weighs, is that picking it up? 82.6 kg. All right. So, pick up the door, sir, and stand back on there, and we'll do some quick math and work out how much these new carbon fiber doors weigh. Look, they're like works of art. All right, so, we hop back on. We're going to go again. Josh holding the carbon fiber door. There you go. All right, we're coming in. 88.7. 88.7. Quick math, Josh.
That's about 5.5 kilos, isn't it?
5.5 kg. Is that right? Yeah. All right, cool. I'll take your word for it. So only 5. Look at him. He's just holding it one-handed. Go on, give us an arm curl. Give us an arm. Look at that. No, Josh ain't been going to the gym. Yes, he has been going to the gym, but he would have been able to do that even if he didn't go to the gym.
I don't think.
All right, epic. All right, so if you put my beautiful, expensive carbon door, and we have got 2 of these, by the way. The other one's just wrapped up. No point getting 2 out. You put that down. Now we have the boot lid. The boot lid. No glass in the boot lid at the moment. We've actually got a small spoiler on it too, as opposed to the big one, which is good for terminal speed. So. Again, the bubble wrap's probably about half a kg, quarter of a kg.
So fresh air, isn't it?
So you weighed 88.6 before, and just the way you're holding it shows us it's light.
And again,
88.7. So for a whole boot lid,
5 kilo.
5 and a bit kilo, I think. So 2 doors, a boot lid. Should we do the mirror just for joke? Let's do this.
I don't even know. I was going to pick up.
It might not even register it. Quick math. 11 kg. 16 kgs, 2 doors and a boot lid. I could guarantee 1 door weighs more than all of that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Generally. All right, cool.
Ooh, what's
83.8.
Basically 1 kilo.
1 kg.
If that.
1 kg. Okay, so light, pretty much.
Yeah. And they are fully built as well.
Yeah.
I think they're
fully built up, electric, all of that goodness. Also, we do have the inner door cards for this, which are in a nice carbon fiber looking vibe too. So essentially, yes guys, we are going carbon fiber. Now, how that's going to look on the car is going to be absolutely crazy. I can actually see the car from where I'm standing now. But we've already got a carbon front bonnet, we've already got carbon wings. So with carbon doors and the carbon boot lid, the car is 70% carbon. Yeah. So it's going to look absolutely crazy. So what we should actually probably do is get down to the car and just discuss a few future things that we're going to be doing with this car, just to let everyone know where we're at and when they might see the car back on the channel again, fighting fit. Yeah?
Cool.
Let's go. Right, Josh, so we have the mighty Integra here. Looking pretty cool, to tell the truth. Not looking sorry for itself.
No, it's chilling.
You know, and most importantly, still with the massive power plant inside. I say the massive, the little power plant inside it.
Still alive.
Still alive. K20. We haven't went K24 with all the goodies here. Massive shout out to Overkill Performance each and every time, because they basically built a whole new turbo setup, a whole new turbo kit, and also our massive intercooler down the front here. Now this car, I don't like to speculate, but everyone knows, but the trap speed, we're nearly 162 mile an hour in a quarter. This car's an 8-second car a long time ago, like, you know, just trying to make it work. But for safety's sake, we're gonna actually do something that's probably gonna surprise a lot of people, because we've just put it on, which is gonna confuse people. Yeah. Maybe make them a little bit more happy because it's bigger, but essentially guys, we've just put this Gen 3, which is basically the next gen precision turbo one, which is a 6870, which made good steam. You know, we made 1,030 out the wheel. Done well. It done well, but essentially it's too small for what we're actually trying, or the power we're pushing, because we're running it too spicy. 50 PSI. We're getting intake temps going through the roof on just one pull. So the solution for that is to run less boost, but to make the same power at less boost, generally you go up a turbo size, right? So we're undecided exactly what turbo size we're going to go to next, whether it's 1 step up or 2 steps up. We're not 100% sure, but with that might introduce lag. To combat that lag, we've got a couple of ideas, but one that we might actually use this time is NOS, right?
Yeah.
Or nitrous.
Yeah, we might go nitrous.
We might be on nitrous to get this bad boy spooling, which I know actually sounds crazy because the car on nitrous, it sounds mad, but listen, we're doing it as a tool because realistically we're at about the power we feel like we need to be at. Like, you know, this, as I said, with the trap, the terminal, the power this car makes, it should be an 8-second car, and that's all I want is an 8-second car for the moment. So essentially we're going to be doing that. So we're going to get changing that turbo out.
That'd be a bridge to cross at the end of the path.
Yes, exactly. However, we're going to be doing quite a few other things under here. The whole engine is going to be coming out. Do you want to talk us through exactly what's going to go on?
Yeah, well, it's end of season. This whole season, this year, everyone's seen us battle, fight. You know, we've overcome loads, and we've learned a lot along the way. Everyone knows we've pushed ahead. So regardless, really, because it's end of season, we're going to take the engine and gearbox out, drop it out. We're going to take the block apart. Inspect it, make sure we're happy with how things are looking after what it's been through this year, and implement a new head gasket solution when we decide what we're going to do fully. But that's that briefly. Engine bay wise, you want to get a bay painted, give a bit of a fresh, bit of a lease of life.
I guess that actually goes hand in hand with the new carbon too. Like, you know, this car, we've worked on just making it go fast. A lot of how it's hanging together with the bodywork, it's getting a little bit scabby around the edges, you know what I mean, here and there.
It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's just a bit TLC.
But for a car that people want to see, I want them to see it in its best kind of, in its best light. So essentially we're going to start with the engine bay, a full respray on the engine bay. We are also going to be doing the rear arches because they're starting to rust. Now there's not going to be a lot of paint left to do on this car. Front bumper, side skirts, rear bumper and roof. The rest will be carbon fibre on this car. But essentially we're also respraying the bay for a reason, because you're going to be deleting some stuff that we don't need under here, right?
Yeah, so obviously this is one of those where, you know, you've crossed from one plan to another plan. You know, it's gone from 600 horsepower build to 800, 1000, 1200, do you know what I mean? So basically like, stuff like the ABS does not work anymore, and we don't need it. We can get rid of it. And to be honest, the reason why I want to get rid of it, and it's not bothered us till now, is because we've kind of not kept quiet on it, but basically we need to upgrade a fuel system in terms of line size, because with the power we're running now, the fuel flow we need, the lines are too small. We're on a dash 8 feed, we want to go up to dash 10, and very easy to do with the engine out. So we're just tying loads of jobs into one thing. And I want to move the fuel system, because at the moment it follows where the stock routing used to be. And as you can see, this whole area is just fire and heat. And you know, we've always not joked about it, but you know, we've always had to keep a close eye on it, because it's just never been ideal. So once we delete the ABS, we can move all the fuel system over to here, well out of the way, and it can come around to the fuel rail this way, and just be well out of the way. It's just simplifying, it's tidying up and upgrading at the same time. So it's like three birds, one stone job.
Sure. Also, on top of that, what we are going to be doing, we won't go into too much detail because we haven't picked our exact solution, but we're going to be doing something about it, is a new wiring harness, whether it be a motorsport derived one, specifically made, or an in-between, a full body harness. We're not 100% sure on that yet, but we will be doing something, because essentially 20-year-old harness, you know, with loads of different inputs now, it needs upgrading. Also makes things a lot easier, simpler, and basically easier.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, there's been so much wiring that's been added, adapted, hacked. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knows how it works. We've got like wiring I've put in here. We're also still rocking the original engine harness, which has been adapted on its own. So we just need to basically take all this wiring, combine it together, and make something nice out of it, and actually you know, make it work. At the same time, but some of the wiring is so old, like 20, 25 years old, and you're rocking thousands of pounds, you know, relying on that. So
for sure.
Let's get to work.
So that's what's going to be happening under the bonnet. If we come round to the back, there's not going to be major adjustments. What I will say is just to quickly open the door here. Not a lot will change in the interior here. We're pretty happy with how it looks, how functional it is at the end of the day, because that's what it needs to be. Obviously with the new doors, we'll have some thinner door cards here, but essentially still club sport spec, as we like to call it, not completely stripped out. Coming round into the boot, now this is a fuel cell we started with. We just think now, safety wise, we need to upgrade it. So we think we're going to go for more of a complete solution, that we think the actual radium swell pot here, which has the integrated pumps in it, which we're rocking 3 now.
2 450s and one 510 or
520. So we've got a lot of pumps in there. However, they do units where you can kind of integrate all into the tank, get rid of these lift pumps down here, makes things a lot quieter, makes it look a lot neater, and obviously, hopefully, we'll be a bit safer than our Alibaba looking.
Our box of doom.
Box of doom. Because guys, when I always picture myself crashing and this like just exploding and setting me on fire, and we run spicy fuel in it, and I'm not trying to go out like that. So that's a solution we're going to be doing too. Now, there is other things that me and Josh and kind of Chris down here at Auto Talk have been discussing in terms of moving forward. And this project is not going to be a cheap one. It hasn't been cheap. People kind of know it hasn't been cheap to get to where I am. And moving forward with the next set of mods, engine getting stripped down, all these new solutions, things are not going to be cheap again. So I've kind of set a time limit of around 6 months to get this car done. But don't cry, people, don't worry. Like, you got to understand right now the season is coming to an end. The season's going to start again in about 6 months from now, in England that is, when the weather starts getting better. Hopefully we'll be fighting fit for that time. However, incrementally, I'll be popping back over, keeping up to date with what's going on and letting people know.
Plenty to see what will happen along the way, basically.
Exactly.
You know, it's all interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a reason behind all of it. We're not just doing it for no reason. You know, it's to make it basically more repeatable. For sure.
Make it
more efficient,
make
more
it proper.
repeatable.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Look, this time, guys, we're building the car properly to go fast. And when I tell you 8s, I think once this car's dialed, 8s, this is going to be an 8-second bracket car, and that's kind of where I want it to be. I'm not chasing those 7s, just 8s, just consistent 8s, banging it off, mid to high 8s. I'm nice. Driving this car is a wild experience anyway, just hearing it and watching it go down a strip sick. And I want to bring you guys entertainment as much as I want to kind of feed my passion and you know, feed my addiction, and that's what I need. So that's what we're going to do. It's a shame we didn't get more content on the car this year, but that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. When we're pushing the boundaries, things happen. It's 1200 brake horsepower in a Honda that left the factory with 1000 brake horsepower, pretty much less than that. Like, you know what I mean? So we're right up there, 4-wheel drive, you know, sequential, and it's been crazy. So a massive shout out to everyone who's been involved with us so far with this build up to this point. This time we're going ham. We're not messing around. We're coming back in proper. But honestly, massive shout out to Overkill, Auto Talk, you know, massive shout out to Romain from RACECAL for supporting us through this too. His tuning is definitely going to see us into the 8s, and for all of you guys for you know just being here with us for this build. We're going to come out swinging. The car's going to be a different beast when it does, and of course, Josh, a massive shout out to yourself for, you know, sticking with this and making it happen. As I say, we've got some big plans. We're speaking to the right people now. Shout out to, you know, a few people in America I'm touching base with. The Viscous, we've got solutions for too, if you're wondering what we're going to do with that. And yeah, we're just going to make it a beast. So techie one today. I know you guys do like the techie one, so if you're still here right now listening, thank you for being here with us. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. It will be much appreciated, and hit a thumbs up because what's to come is going to be crazy. Once again, thank you, Josh.
No problem.
It's been wicked. Big up to Auto Talk each and every time. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace out.